on Instagram. Come on, Instagram. Unable to connect. What's happening here? Come on, send it. Paste. No, come on. Come on, Insta. You got it. Almost there. Unable to connect. What the fuck? Come on. Come on, Insta. You got this. Get to it. Send it. Over to Insta. Almost there. Streaming. All right. And on that note, we are ready to go live. Where are you? Come on, show it. There we go, Simon's Book Club. And we're live. Come on. Just BNYC, you have matches today. Yes, I bought 4 boxes of matches. So I'm all set. I'm glad you noticed. I brought my finger there. I'm paying attention to the screen instead of to the fire. Definitely pay attention to the fire instead of the screen. Come on, let's get you lit here. Is that Palo Santo? Indeed it is. Do you use any Palo Santo? What do you burn to set your moods? I'm amazed how long this lasts also. It really takes me a while before, I've been using this for a couple weeks and it still seems like I have a whole lot of it here. Come on. Come on. Catch a little bit of fire. That's what I need. Alright. Yeah, that's the vibe. Nice. Alright. Ready to get started. And today is April 4th. I was frozen for a moment. Yeah, seems like looking at the screen I'm not necessarily moving much. Am I still frozen? There you go. What's it look like up here? No, I'm able to move on this screen. What's happening here on Insta? Terrell Alexander on YouTube says, you gonna read 1984? I already read it. Not down to read it again. I kind of already know. I was actually thinking about 1984. Yesterday I was thinking about the combination of 1984 and Brave New World. And it looks like I'm still frozen on Instagram, hey? No. Just on my screen here, I'm frozen on Instagram, but on my phone it seems to be working all right. Anyhow, so yeah, I was thinking about how in Brave New World they give everyone drugs in order to keep them happy in society. And Brave 1984 is also a matter of like, hey, how do we issue state of kind of control and make everyone love what the government is doing? And really made me think about ADHD medicine and about how kids aren't meant to be sitting in schools for so long. They're meant to be running around, frolicking and playing and connecting with each other. But they're not allowed to. They got to sit and they got to pay attention to really boring classes. And if they misbehave, then they got to be given the Brave New World drug. and the people that are on the drug love it. So there you go. Those are my thoughts that I had. Only Amjid Fufu says something in a language that I can't read, but welcome. Thank you for joining today. And back to it. What's alive in me today? Says, why do I work magic? What? Am I working magic? What do you mean by magic? Does this seem magical? If so, then thanks for the compliment. I'm not casting any spells or anything like that. I wish I would. Can I write down a spell to give me $1 million? That's not going to work. No, this is just me doing my journaling every single morning and trying to understand myself and what my body's feeling and how I'm feeling and what my day is going to look like. And I just kind of want to set a mood for it. I want to have some chill music. I want to have some good smells because this room doesn't necessarily smell good. I got 2 stinky-ass dogs. Black magic is haram. Yeah, no, I don't think this magic is black. There's not even any magic going on. This is just candles for nice ambiance, chill vibes, and journaling. So what am I writing about? Well, today I'm just trying to check what's alive in me. I know my mood feels super shitty. I'm not feeling happy at all right now. Woke up feeling grumpy. The power was out. Hard rain. I kind of feel like I fucked around this week and I didn't really do the things that I want to do. And so I'm feeling kind of like disappointed with myself and trying to see how I could replan what my week is going to be like for next week. Terrell says, the most disturbing part of my... Oh, I'm not even talking to people. Here's an overhead shot. Hello. Can you see me here? The most disturbing part of 1984 for me was how they went after the kids to control the parents. Yeah, I know. That has precedent in Soviet Russia. I'm pretty sure there's a story of a heroic child who told on his parents or told on his family or something along those lines. And that was definitely shared in 1984. But yeah, that was definitely scary shit. Hello to Eddie Lane. 1984 is super disturbing. Brave New World is kind of like a combination of that in a different way of controlling people in some way. Mythical Beast says, crazy how you wrote at the length of the Declaration of Independence for your journal. Yeah. Is that the length of the Declaration of Independence? This is only like one of my journals. I got a whole bunch of them. But I don't write this much every day. I only write maybe 2 to 5 pages or so per day. But yeah, writing's a very important part of my well-being. Or is it? That's kind of what I'm not sure about. Is all this writing helping me, or is this just me being avoidant? Am I avoiding the shit that I should be doing instead of actually, getting shit done? I'm just sitting here and setting nice moods and playing some soft music and burning candles, or should I be getting shit done? Ghost CCC says 1984 equals when AI takes over the news and we no longer know what's real or what's fake. I don't think we ever really knew what was real or what's fake. I read a lot. Well, I don't read tons, but I read enough about cognitive science. Hang on, let me share a book right here. Where'd you go? Do I still have you? I didn't give you away, did I? Where the fuck is that book? It's not this. Where the fuck did you go? Lost it. Really? Oh, that sucks. Really interested in Donald Hoffman's work. Could I please tell, or could I please yell? So yeah, a lot of cognitive scientists are kind of showing us that, hey, we don't actually see reality as it is. We don't see... I'm too close to the mic. Thanks for letting me know. A lot of cognitive scientists and neuroscientists were like, hey, we don't actually see reality as it is. All of us see controlled hallucination. Your reality is very different from my reality. And we could sure say 1 + 1 = 2, but that doesn't apply to how this room looks or what Elon Musk said or what he meant or what he's up to. None of us necessarily know any of that. So this idea between what's real and what's fake, we kind of need to let go of and just focus more on hey, on our interactions with other human beings one-to-one in our communities, how do we co-create something that we both agree with? Instead of trying to think, how do we change and fix the whole world? None of us have that power. None of us are playing that game. So let's just focus on our communities and our environments and our surroundings and try to connect better there. Getting a lot of questions on YouTube. Shit, not used to this much engagement, but hello, let me see. Trust says, bro doesn't know how journals work. Yeah, I don't know. Is it me that doesn't know how journals work? I definitely don't know how journals work. I'm just journaling, writing a bunch, seeing what comes out. What do I think of the Palestine war and life in general this generation? What do you want things to change? I don't know much about the Palestine war. I really don't pay that much attention to news at all. I know that some horrific shit is happening. I have a friend that's really into it and really upset. But I don't know. I'm not informed enough to give any kind of decision in there, but I think a lot of people are being hurt, and that kind of sucks. And life in general in this generation, I think life in general for everyone is kind of like the same path. Like it starts off really great when you're young, no matter what environment that you're in, and then the shades of the prison house begin to close, and then you get older and grumpier, and then life sucks. But life has kind of always sucked the older that you get. I constantly think about this like plate that father, like 2,000 years ago, it's written somewhere in like some ancient Greece shit or something, I forget where. And I wound up saying, my son recently disobeyed me in public. I am sure that the world is about to end. And that was 2,000 years ago. And we're always kind of thinking that we are the last people that are going to be alive, that the next generation has it worse. But I think that's just a sign of our old age and a sign of us getting older and kind of afraid of death and mortality. And so we think the whole world is going to go with it. I don't know, life has always been challenging. It always will be. I believe in the long scope of time, and what we're doing right now is very small compared to what life is going to be like 1,000 years from now. Pretty much, like we're not going to be able to understand it. I imagine I remember I was in Toronto and I walked through a graveyard once, find it very peaceful, don't judge me, and I saw a tombstone from Jebediah, who died back in 1820-something. And I wondered if Jebediah was around now, wouldn't he be fucking totally freaked out and amazed at how different we are from back then? And I'm sure 1,000 years from now, we're not going to be able to make any sense of what the world is like then. And so we're not here for a long time. We're here for a short time. So let's do the best that we could do. What do I want things to change? What I want to change is for people to understand how to empathize better, how to stop thinking about themselves so much, how to stop being egotistical and thinking that they can change the world or fix the world, or if I was king of the world, here's what I would do. I think that just leads to a lot of people getting hurt. And I think what matters more is stop thinking about the world as a whole and think about your neighbors, think about your community, and think about your family. That's all the power that you and I have. We're not playing the big game of Trump and Putin and all the other leaders. That's not us. That's just like me trying to tell LeBron James like how to play basketball. That's not our world. We watch it, we're entertained by it, but it's just a story that we watch and we have very little to no impact on. So really, how do we contribute to our communities and to each other a lot better? So what's the best advice for students? I don't know, man. I don't know. I used to be a high school teacher, and I think it's challenging for students. I know that schools were built to prepare kids for factory work back in the 1800s. Factory work ain't really all too relevant right now, is it? And I don't think the future is built on factory work. I think the future is built by a lot of people who disrupt a lot of shit. And I think how do you build your own stuff? And I think entrepreneurship is kind of like a future path instead. So don't think about what company you could work for, but think about what you could build and how you could serve people better. So for me, I'm also thinking like, hey, like what's the best advice for people like my age who are at a kind of like career pivot? And for me, the idea is how do you get more into technology and AI? I think AI is kind of the next evolution of information theory. I think humans, we're kind of biased towards ourselves because we're warm and wet, and we believe that we feel and think things differently than computers. But I think the thing that we both have in common with us in AI is that we're processing signals that are coming in and giving outputs. And we want to keep this information alive and going as long as we can. And when this body dies, then we kind of do a backup copy with our children. But now people aren't really having children anymore, right? Like South Korea's super fucked because they're demographic trained. And so I think what really matters is how do we keep information alive? And I think AI is what a lot of people are doing. Hey, we're not really giving our information to kids anymore. We're giving it to the LLMs. So keep on feeding the LLMs, keep on feeding the information system. I think that has its own kind of consciousness and it's just as valid as our own. So let me answer that. Johnny Cash. Oh my God, where are all these people coming from? Holy shit, are you real people? Well, I'm not used to all these comments. Johnny Cash, what's up? Not much right now. Just trying to write. Haven't written shit yet. Would I mind sharing about my childhood and my favorite memories? My God, that's a lot to ask. Thank you, Mythical Beast, for so much engagement. I think I'll say that for another one because shit, I've been talking for like 15 minutes. Angelique says hello. Cucumber says I deserve more views. That's very kind of you. And how do you know what to do after college? I think I kind of answered that. Focus on AI, entrepreneurship. What's a problem that the world has, or what's a problem that anybody has, and how do you solve that problem, and how do you kind of scale from that? I'm not sure what to do in my life and my passion. Any tips or advice? I don't know, kind of stuck there too. I really just love sitting and writing. I'm very avoidant. I got this soundproof room here. I got this good looking camera, and I got all these like nice candles and smelly shit, and I just want to hide in this room and fucking write all day long, and that's it, and just chat to people online. So that's kind of, you're asking the wrong person for advice here on that. And with that, my God, so many people have asked questions, and now let me get back to actually writing. Hello to OG Loki. Wild. Where are all these people coming from? So not used to this much engagement, but thank you. LMAO, but hey, at least I'm enjoying life. Yeah, sure, I'm enjoying life for now, but for how long? How long can I ride this train before shit changes so much again? My life, I'm not sure how long you've been following me, Mr. Mythical Beast. My life was very different now than it was back then. And Iliar says, do what you love. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I love writing. Let's see how long I could do that for. But yeah, things are very different. I'm enjoying life now, and I'm sure 10 years from now, my life is going to be very different. I'm going to enjoy that too, and be like, why did I write so much? Who knows? But this is where I'm at right now, so I'm just staying here, enjoying all the writing. I'm enjoying all this connection. Thank you, Mythical Beast, for asking so much and for engaging so much. And now back to writing. OG Loki, you love my videos. Which one? These ones or my older ones? Either way, that's very nice of you to say. I don't make enough videos on this channel, but it's very nice of you to say. Thank you. Hearing you say when you write, you always have brain fog, especially writing for college essays as you suck at them so much. Yeah, I get that. Writing college papers is tough, and it's tough to sit down and write. I just grew up hyper literate. You asked me before about my favorite childhood memories. I'll share two reasons why I write so much. Number one, my mother kept on telling the story about like when before I was 1 years old, I was able to like look at a newspaper and I was able to name all the letters, SOLUBT, and she was very proud of that. And I also remember when I was 7 years old, my parents fought a lot, and they fucking screamed at each other. Not shouted, but screamed, slamming doors. It was very scary, and I'd be in my room and I'd read one of my kids' books really quickly. And then I'd run over to my parents' room and be like, hey, look, I'm done a book. And for a moment, they would stop. They'd stop fighting. each other. And they'd pay attention and they'd give me praise and they'd thank me. Well, not thank me, but they'd be like, good boy and whatnot. And then when that praise was done, I'd run back to my room and I'd fucking power through a book as quickly as I could to stop the more shouting as it re-emerged. Fortunately, I had a lot of short books and I could just fucking rip through them quickly and disturb my parents as they wanted to yell at each other. And I think from that I got into my love of reading and writing. And so I think my childhood trauma has kind of made me very interested in writing. But I understand that, writing college essays sucks. It's tough. It's not easy. It's not natural. It's a form of creation that you're not really going to use anywhere else. Like, who the fuck is reading essays, right? Scientists, professors, but in the real world, we ain't reading blogs anymore. We're watching short reels and short form content and people talking and not necessarily writing an essay form. Like, here's my introduction, here are my supporting points, and here's this hypothesis that I have, and here I'm going to prove it. It's so outdated. That's not how we talk. I think that there's a huge divide between how we operate in school and how we operate in life, and I don't think that school really represents life all too much. And really kind of, I'll riff a bit here as well. Kind of cheesed off at professors that are upset for people using AI to write their papers. Well, then find a new, more adequate way to assess the abilities of your students. You keep on using outdated methods. The world has changed. Schools have to change as well, and they're not changing fast enough. And just saying, write things like the good old ways, write things out like you used to. You have to develop your critical thinking. No, mathematicians, when they had calculators, were able to do so much better math, and math is amazing now thanks to calculators, not because they have to write everything out by hand, because if they did, then they'd be writing forever. Some of the stuff that they're calculating would take a lifetime in order to really get it written down. So we need to be able to use AI, embrace it, use it, and enhance our abilities. And I don't think schools are really up to date with that. They really got you to write about gender dysphoria, BS book about sexism. Hearing that's not something that you're really enjoying to write about. I get it. It's not a topic that everybody loves. Definitely think that a lot of the postmodern leaning of universities are kind of stuck in like the 1960s, and they haven't really evolved with the meta-modernist kind of bent. And the postmodernist bent definitely has a lot of victim language and a lot of blaming of the rich and the white and the male. And I could understand that, modernism definitely has its share of atrocities, but postmodernism just kind of is stuck in this complaint cycle with no real solutions and no real growth happening out of it, apart from just like, hey, feel really, really guilty about yourself and just shut up and be quiet. And so it's not really aligning with my values, and I could see this not aligning with yours too, but understanding it is important, right? We need to have that sense of like self-criticism. Modernism had us be very, very arrogant and think we could keep on growing and developing forever and, onward and upward for humanity. And then you realize, yeah, but you kind of fucked over women and indigenous people and people of color and people of different abilities. And so that super sucks. And now postmodernism, like, hey, let's just focus on all the people that have been hurt. Metamodernism's like, okay, how do we kind of do a little bit of both? How do we have the sincerity of the growth of modernism along with the like self-critical aspect of postmodernism? We need that sway, that breathing in, that breathing out. Right now, postmodernism is just like, hey, you suck, everything sucks, it's a dumpster fire, fuck life. And I can understand why you kind of feel like, hey, what do I do with my future as a result? Because metamodernism hasn't been taught, it's all been postmodernism. And so if you want to kind of, from the language that I'm hearing that you're talking about mythical beasts, I'd say learn, I don't want to tell you what to learn, but maybe get into metamodernism, read about it a little bit. The Listening Society is a great book, I think. Your question is, did I actually go to college, and if so, how was it? Yeah, I went to U of T, did a specialist in English, I did a minor in religion, and then I did a degree in education, so I was a high school teacher afterwards. And how was it? It was fucking rough. My first 2 years of university, I had a perfect GPA because I did nothing but read. I stopped seeing people, I stopped playing basketball, I stopped moving. I just sat in my room and fucking studied and wrote papers all the time with that childhood trauma of like, hey, reading and writing is gonna help make things better. And then I got super depressed because if you don't take care of your body, then your mind is going to suffer. And my mind definitely suffered from my lack of bodily care. And then, I got a girlfriend in year 3, and I just stopped really caring about school, and I dedicated myself entirely to my relationship. And then I moved to Korea, and then I became YouTube famous, and then a hot dumpster fire happened in COVID. And it was a little bit of a quick wrap up. You're currently majoring in biology and planning on going to medicine, and I could tell you I'm getting cooked. What are you getting cooked about? Why is it getting cooked? Is it because of the gender diaspora stuff, or is it because of the challenge of the content? Again, I appreciate all this engagement. I'm going to try to, you write out your answer, I'm going to do a little bit of writing on myself here. So it sounds like you're saying it's hard for no reason. All right. Well, yeah, biology and science it's fucking hard. It's not easy to understand. And competitive to get into med school, literally have to be Albert Einstein to have a great chance. Yeah, the competition is definitely a lot higher than before. There are many more people going to school and many more kids that have like trained for a long time. And well, why do you want to get into med school? Is there another path for you instead of that path? I know some people that really worked hard to get into med school, and then they did that for a bit, and they realized it's not for them at all, and they became entrepreneurs, and they did something different instead. So why is med school the thing that you're interested in doing? Wondering. So you say, I mean, I do love medicine, but I'm starting to realize it's too hard for me to accomplish. What do you mean you love medicine? Like you love eating it? You love giving it? What does medicine mean to you? And what do you love about that? Oh, it seems like my Instagram is frozen. What the fuck's going on? Come on, Insta. Where are you? It's working on YouTube. No, Insta's totally frozen for a bit. It seems like Insta's been giving me shit all day. This is going to be more of a YouTube thing then. You like taking care of people. All right. So it's very nice to hear that you want to take care of people, and it seems like you want to take care of them physically via their health. Is there another way that you can offer that care for others? Is medicine the way to give them care, or is there something else that you could do? Physician assistant is what I'm going for. Okay. That's great. I'm hearing that it's super challenging for you to do that at the same time. What the fuck is going on here? Why is it so frozen? And my camera's dead also. Jesus, what a day of technical difficulties. I woke up with my dog having chewed through this cable. Unfortunately, I had a backup cable. All right, back to it. There you go. I'm back. Hola. You can see me now. All right, physician assistant sounds like a very great job to have as well. I can understand it's tough. I understand you're writing papers about topics that you don't necessarily love, and it doesn't necessarily sound like it's going to be all too helpful to you. She's like, what the fuck? Come on, Instagram, do the thing you're supposed to do. So distracted here. Is that my own ADHD, or is that just my perfectionism? Come on. All right, looks like my stream on Instagram's done. Boo to that. All right, turn that shit off. Gonna stay on YouTube. You should show us your dog. I'm kind of pissed off at him at the moment. We chew through an expensive cable, and so no, Papa Jelly's not gonna get any affection at the moment. I'm angry at him, and I'm giving him the silent treatment. Yep. Okay, back to it. Said, oh man, poor dog, what's his name? He's a corgi, and he's tiny, and he is 3 years old, and his name is Papa Jelly. Reason why his name is Papa Jelly, it's, my girlfriend's Russian, and when she, says, to my other dogs, I have another dog, I have a golden retriever, and when she says, come on, hurry up, she says, Papi Jelly, Papi Jelly, Papi Jelly, let's go. And I didn't understand it at first, and it sounded like she was calling him Papa Jelly. And so when we got, our second dog, when we got Papa Jelly, that's when she named him Papa Jelly. And bro, you like the mountain tattoos on my arm? Thank you. Covered in a bunch of tattoos. I got a bunch here, got a bunch here. Why the mountains though? Homie, this whole tattoo is one story, one stupid fucking story. Moral of the story is never get a tattoo inspired by the person that you love. That wound up being a bad idea. But I got mountains and a spaceship here. What angle am I at here? Where can I show that? There you go. I got mountains and where's that spaceship? There's that spaceship right in the crease of my arm, but I can't get the camera to focus on it. There you go. See that? Let it out of focus. That's the best I could do with this tiny camera. Not this tiny camera, with this tiny angle here. Yep. Back to writing. It's actually 9:02, so I'll answer this live one right. Oh my god, this fucking camera again. I'm so pissed off at this dog. Come on, camera. Just give me a bit more juice so I could say my goodbye here. Come on, stay with me now. Stay with me now. Great. Hello, I'm back. What's my life bucket list? One of them is go to space. Yeah, I'd love to go to space. I just read this book right here. Orbital. It's, if you want to go to space, and if you like reading also, this book is amazing. It's a really thin book, only like 120 pages or so. And it's about astronauts living in the International Space Station. And it's beautiful. And I've always wanted to go into space. This whole tattoo is about space. I'd love to do that. So that's a huge bucket list of mine. Otherwise, living on an island with warm water around me. I loved living, I didn't live in Hawaii, but I was in Hawaii for 3 weeks and I could totally see myself there. Somewhere warm and by the sea where I could be closer to nature. And the life bucket list is really more of a vision. It's like I'd love to live somewhere warm where I could spend all my days just sitting and writing exercising. I run every day. I lift regularly as well. Just taking care of my body, writing, talking to people online like this, taking care of my dog, having kid, homeschooling them, and getting in the space. So it's more just the kind of routine that I want. I've already had a very exciting life as is. I've done a whole bunch of travel and whatnot, and some space travel, I think, is the last one for me. And on that, it's 9:04. I'm usually done these at like 9 o'clock because it's time for my breakfast now. And so, Mythical Beast, thank you so much for all the engagement today. Really, really enjoyed this. I'll be back here tomorrow at the same time if you want to come back and have another chat. And yeah, thank you for this lovely conversation that we had. I wrote almost nothing today, but still, I appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your day, and thanks for